Hi everyone, welcome to MarikaCreations. I have been thrifting and I bought four cheese platters, I guess from the 80s, and I thought it was a good price and it's a good quality product, solid oak, iron handles, so I thought I could do something with those. And I will first show you my DIYs, and at the end of the video I will show you how they turned out and give you a closer look. So let's do this. This is what I have thrifted. These cheese platters from the 80s, I guess, but I like them. I paid €3 each for them, and they are solid oak and the handles are iron, so they're heavy duty like that. First thing, I screw off the handles, and I will save all the handles for another project. Don't know yet what, but I will figure it out, I'm sure. And I will only use these wood boards for my projects. First thing, I will cover the holes in the middle with some wood filler. And I do that on 3 out of the 4. And I have these 2 handles, metal handles. I will make one of the wood boards into a small tray. And as you can see here, I left one with the hole intact. First thing, I have sanded one already. It's already a difference. And I'm sanding them off, back and front and sides, so they are nice and smooth and good looking. For my first flip, I take this one with the holes still intact, and I dry brush it with a white acrylic or white wash it. And I'm brushing away until I'm happy with the result. I have these 2 test tubes, and I will use one of them, and I'm just trying out which one will fit the best. The slightly thicker one with no pattern, or the thinner one with the pattern, and I chose the thinner one with the pattern. And I will use some jute twine, and I will wrap around the upper part of the test tube. But first I will put a string of hot glue all the way around where I want to attach it to the wood board, and I take a bit of metal wire and I will wrap that around just below the hot glue there, and the hot glue is there to make sure it doesn't slide. So I take my pliers and I really tighten it, and once everything is as I want it, I start wrapping the jute twine on the upper part all the way up and down again. And now I put the 2 ends of the metal wire through the hole, and on the other side I have a tiny piece of metal that I wrap the metal wire around, so it's nice and tight, and then I make sure that it's no sharpness left there, and I just make sure with a dot of hot glue on top of that. Now on the back I will put on a sawtooth hanger. I should have done that before I put the tube on, much easier, but it works anyway. So I just measure where I want it, right in the center, make some pilot holes and screw it in place. And on the left side of the test tube I have written love, and on the other side I'm writing peace. Maybe a bit cheesy, but these words are very important, and especially nowadays need to fill our world with love and peace. And in the test tube I put some olive branches, which is connected to peace. For my second flip, I will take some painter's tape and put it right near the center. What I will do here is these stripes that you see on grain sacks. If you don't know, you will see in a second. I just measured that I got the stripe right in the center, and then I will dilute some acrylic, black acrylic, in some water and start painting. And this will be the tray I showed you the handles before that I would use for this. So I will only do one coat, not a very thick coat. I think it's beautiful when the wood grain shines through a bit. It has dried and it looks good. It's always exciting to see. No bleedings, I'm happy. And now for the thinner stripes. Just measure where I want them exactly, and then put the painter's tape on again, and I make sure that I don't press too hard on the painted part, because I don't want to rip off any of the paint when I remove the tape later on. And I painted the thinner stripes in the same black color and set it off to dry. And meanwhile I went over to my spray paint station and painted the handles, and I sprayed them with a copper color. Only one coat was needed. The stripes have dried, and I just had a tiny bit of bleeding on the smaller stripes, and that I fixed just with some sandpaper, sanded them off. And now I am measuring where exactly I want my handles to be. Make sure that it's even and precise. And drilling the holes. The board is so thick that from the back side I needed to go in with a bigger drill bit, just a tiny bit, because the screws were not long enough. But that was a good way to hide the screws as well. And then it's time to screw on the handles. What I have done and will do with all of these boards, once they are nicely embellished and done, I will go over them with a matte varnish to protect the paint. For flip number 3, I will dry brush the board, but I also need to address the wood filler in the center there, because that will show otherwise. But before I do that, I go to my scan and cut, and I just cut out some wordings, and I see where I want it, and then I decided to make a stripe right in the center, not too wide, just tape it off with some painter's tape, and then I will paint it in more of a grayish color. I started out with more white, but decided to go for a gray color instead. And I applied 2 coats. Once dried, I put on the wordings, and the center part there fit right on the stripe. That was perfect. It was a bit fibbly because of the small letters, and in the center where the wood filler was, I ripped off a little bit of the paint, but that's an easy fix. As I said in the beginning of this video, I will give you a closer look on all the final results in the end of this video. So stay tuned for that. And here I am just fixing a little bit, touching up, and make 2 stripes there as well. For the 4th and final flip, I divide my board into 3 equal parts, and then I just tape them off, and I will make the French flag. I start off with the blue color, and I don't want it bright blue, but more a dirty looking blue. I put some black and also some white in it, and then I just paint it away. And yeah, I like this color, and I only needed 1 coat. And the same with the red color. I just dirty it up a bit, paint it on, and just set it aside to dry. And the paint has dried, and it looks good. And the middle part, it's white, but I will dirty that up as well, so it will be kind of a grayish color. And that grayish color I needed to apply twice for a good coverage. If you're new to my channel, hi, I am Marika. And on this channel I do lots of DIYs, thrifting, decorating, renovation of my home, some pottery, some painting, anything creative really. Please join me. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell as well, and let's be friends. And I did cut out some wording for the French flag as well. Everything that France stands for, it's liberty, equality and brotherhood. Liberté, égalité et fraternité. I had a tiny bit of touching up to do, and then I dry brushed the piece with some black and white acrylic. Here is my first piece. It's a little vase hanging on the wall. Love and peace with the olive branch. Love in our hearts and peace of mind. That's how we should live always. Second DIY is this cute little tray, and I love the pattern, and it's flowing down to the sides like that, and the copper handles. I did put some pads on the bottom of the tray for it not to scratch the surface it's sitting on. Cute little display. And here's my third one, and we have our last name on top, and then the coordinates where we met. And that was in the center of Stockholm in Sweden, and that was 1999. And I did have a dry brushing moment on this one with some black acrylic as well. And my last DIY, the French flag with Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité written on it. Liberty, equality and brotherhood. Something that we in the whole world have lost a little bit last year, but I am confident that we will regain it this year. So tell me, what do you think? Did you have a favorite? Let me know in the comments. Maybe you would have done something completely different. Click that icon to my DIYs playlist for more inspirational videos. Thank you so very much for watching. See you soon again in my next one. Until then, take care. Bye.